For this bag, you will need 2 pieces of fabric measuring 27 centimeters by 58.5 centimeters. You will need 3 zips measuring 25 centimeters each. You will need a small piece of fabric measuring 3 centimeters by 12 centimeters. A piece of fabric measuring 8 centimeters by 30 centimeters and a piece of fabric measuring 27 centimeters by 18 centimeters. You will also need vinyl fabric measuring 27 centimeters by 5 centimeters, a piece measuring 27 centimeters by 12 centimeters, a larger piece measuring 27 centimeters by 21 centimeters, and a piece measuring 37 centimeters by 21 centimeters. You will need wide bias tape measuring 180 centimeters in length. Firstly, you're going to take one of your 27 by 58.5 centimeters pieces of fabric and fold it in half. Using a ruler, you're going to measure 4.5 centimeters from the edge along the top and down the side with your fabric pen. You're then going to join up the 2 points, creating a curve. Using your fabric scissors, you're going to cut out a curve on your piece of fabric. You're then going to do the same thing for the bottom 2 corners so that all corners are curved. Repeat this process for your other piece of fabric. Then when you're finished, you're going to take your fabric pen and you're going to mark an arrow on the top of both pieces of fabric so that you know that they are the top. And then you're going to place a circle on the bottom of both pieces of fabric as well. Take your 37 by 21 centimeter piece of vinyl fabric and fold it in half. Using your scissors, cut a snip on the fold. Then, using your ruler and a black marker, you're going to mark 13.5 centimeters either side of the centre. You're then going to measure 16 centimeters down the width and mark it. You're going to join up these 2 points, creating a diagonal line. Measure 6 centimeters across, and then you're going to mark 5.5 centimeters up. You're then going to join this up to the 16 centimeter point that you marked at the side. When you finish joining up your points, you should end up with something like this, and then you just cut out your outline. To make your zipper covers, take your 27 by 18 centimeter piece of fabric. Measure out pieces of fabric that are 3 centimeters in width, drawing a straight line the whole way across to the other edge to make sure that the pieces you cut out are straight. Once you have all the pieces cut out, you should be left with 6 individual pieces. You're then going to take your zipper covers over to your ironing board. You're going to turn the edges in to almost halfway. Then using your iron, you're going to press down the edges. Take your 27 by 5 centimeter piece of vinyl fabric and your 27 centimeter by 12 centimeter of vinyl fabric and place it on the edge of your zip. Then pin this in place before sewing. Using your sewing machine, you're going to sew the pieces of vinyl onto your zip. Then take your zipper covers and pin either side of your zip. Sew 2 lines on each zipper cover, one at each edge. take your handle, you're going to get your 8 by 30 centimetre piece. You're going to fold both edges in till about halfway. Then you're going to fold it over again. Then pin this in place and then you're going to sew it. For your hanging strip, take your 3 by 12 centimetre piece. Again, you're going to fold it both edges in to about halfway mark and then fold it over on itself again. Pin this in place and again sew a line to keep it in place. For the larger pocket, you're going to bring the edges together like so. You're then going to sew a straight line 1 centimetre in from the edge. To attach the handle, you're going to take your outer layer or your backing fabric, and on the side in which the arrows are facing up, you're going to measure 16.5 centimetres down from the top and mark it with your fabric pen. You're also going to do the same on the other side. You're then going to place the handle where you have marked the fabric. Put pins in the handle to keep it in place. Once you have the handle pinned in place, you're going to measure 6 centimetres from the edge on either side. This is going to be the mark that you are going to sew to. When sewing on the handle, you're going to sew a rectangular shape out to the 6 centimetre mark and back in and around. Now we're going to attach the hanging strip. So fold your pocket compartments in half to get your centre. Then you're going to place the hanging strip across like so, ensuring that it's in the centre. Place 2 pins and then sew. Make sure that when you're sewing that the stitch is nice and secure, and ensure you do a back stitch. Now take your hook and loop and measure out 1.5 centimetre squares. So first we're going to place the loop side, which is the soft side, onto the vinyl fabric. You're going to measure 1.5 centimetres down and 5 centimetres across and mark it. And then you're going to place the loop side onto the marks. You can use pins to hold it in place. So next you're going to take your backing fabric, and on the side in which you place the circle, you're going to put down your hook, which is the rough side. So it's the opposite side to your handle that you're placing the squares down. You're going to measure 12 centimetres down and 5 centimetres across and mark it with your fabric pen. And this is where you're going to place the squares. And again, you can put pins to keep them in place. You then need to sew a square around the hook and loop to keep them in place. take your inner layer or your lining and place it flat, ensuring that the arrow side is at the top. Taking your pocket compartments, you're going to place it on to the lining fabric, ensuring that the circle is on the bottom and the arrow is on the top. This is very important. Pin it all in place except the corners. When you get to the corners, you're going to cut little snippets around the corner. Once you have snips made around both corners, you're then going to flatten the pocket out around the corner so that it's flat and pin it in place. You're then going to sew the pocket compartments onto the lining about 1 centimetre in from the edge the whole way around. Sew a straight line above the second pocket and above the third pocket to separate the compartments. Place the wrong sides of the inner layer or the lining to the wrong side of the outer layer or the backing, and use your arrows and your circle to help you, making sure that the two arrows join together and the two circles join together. And then sew all around the edges. Before putting on your bias binding, make sure that you fold it in half and iron a crease into it. You're then going to place the crease on the edge of the bag and place it the whole way around the bag, using pins to keep it in place. Finally, you're going to sew on your binding. You're going to sew around the edge about 1 centimetre in from the edge. We hope you enjoyed our workshop and thank you for participating.